Okay, I guess we're ready to go, huh? 6:30?
Yep.
Right on the nose, huh? Okay, I call the meeting to order. So we don't have too much to do. I guess we'll go into non-public tonight, huh? To talk about what Laura, the emails we got from Laura concerning the litigation.
Okay.
Is she asking us to make a decision? I mean, she hasn't given us any
I'm not sure
options.
exactly what she's asking, but she said in one of her emails, you can go into a non-public and discuss it in here. So we'll go into a non-public, we'll discuss it, what we want to do, I guess. So, okay, that's why I brought the computer, so I could actually her emails to us. So, did we look at the meeting minutes? I'll make a motion that we accept the meeting minutes of June 4th. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, any questions on the meeting minutes? Any discussion? No? Okay, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay. And the manifest. So the manifest was sent to us, right? You got a copy of the
Yeah.
manifest? And you saw all the invoices, right?
Yeah.
And the payroll and everything.
I must have, I can't seem to find the invoices in the payroll. I just went back to look at Stone Road Energy. I can't remember what that was. Is that highway?
This one for 648.
Yeah. I seem to have, maybe you could forward it to me, Sherman, the invoices and, because I don't know,
Sure.
must have pressed the wrong button.
Find it, yeah. Let's see.
What's the name of it?
Oh, okay, Stone Road Energy. Oh, do you have the invoices in?
Yeah, it's
For 648.14? Yeah, and I actually didn't remember seeing it in the invoices, but I thought I must. Stone Road Energy. It's not in there?
Okay. And this was.
It is a new vendor because I had to add it into my QuickBooks.
Did you see an invoice?
I didn't actually have time to go back and look. I was just like, oh, I wonder what this is for, but I didn't go back and look.
But none of us knows what the company is?
No,
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, it was on the manifest, so when I was adding the checks into my version of QuickBooks, I had to add it in, which means it was never, we've never
I've
given
never
a
seen
check
it
to them.
but now I'm concerned there isn't an invoice for it,
Right.
apparently, so,
What's the date today, the 18th?
Yeah.
Okay, so I should.
So maybe we need to not
There's
pay
some,
it.
tax cards, time cards.
I think she sent the invoices on the 15th, but I can't swear to it.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Uh,
15, 18. Or maybe it was the
You
16th.
responded to the invoices, I see.
Well, I was asking about Waco.
The agenda, the time cards and invoices. Mitchell Group, huh?
Yep. Isn't it like $32 an email or something?
Citizen Metal, okay, that's the one that's right there, 648.
Well, we can certainly hold the check until we figure out what's what.
Uh-huh,
There is no.
that's it.
And if you don't mind while you're there, could you just forward me that email?
Sure.
Thank you. Yeah, would there be anything on the check that might identify it? Any itemization or something on the bottom of the check?
Oh, the address. Address on it?
Plymouth, it's a PO box out of Plymouth.
Nothing there.
Hmm.
We have 3 different bills, all in May.
Really?
Hmm.
We gotta find out what that is. What could that possibly be?
I can't imagine, I mean, it's, it sounds like a utility, but it's obviously not a utility, so.
Well, we gotta cross that out until next month.
Google it.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, you could Google it.
Okay, so you don't want to pay this until you see the invoice, huh?
Yeah, that would be my vote. I have no idea what it is, especially if there's 3 different charges.
Yeah, I think let's
Yeah.
find out more.
Okay, well, I'll make a motion then that we amend the manifest. And we will delete check number 17119 to Stone Road Energy. Yeah, the one on top of it, SOS Metal Products.
Well, that's highway, sauce metal?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's also $648. Is
Well,
that
that's
just a
a-
coincidence there?
Yeah, well, one's 3 or 8 cents and the
Yeah.
other is 14.
Okay.
But,
Okay,
I
well,
mean-
where was I with the motion? To delete this check?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, any more discussion on that? No. Okay, all in favor? Aye. Opposed?
You know, yeah, me too.
I got a purchase requisition here from Dean. He wants to get a jack.
Well, now, is sauce metal something that would have required a requisition, or? No.
So this jack's needed to replace the one currently on the roller, the safety factor, so the roller can be put on and taken off the truck. Safety is needed, the old one is no good, no longer operates. So this jack that he wants costs $190. So I'm gonna sign it.
yeah, that sounds, a jack is not something you wanna mess around with, it might not work.
Did we put a total on the bottom of the manifest, or?
No.
Do we need to write void on that check so that doesn't get sent out by mistake? I think,
Yeah, we probably should, huh? Probably should do it. Or just write void on it too. Still might go on. Shame on me.
yeah, yes.
This week, and then also like 2 prior meetings, I don't know if you want to do this one with the other.
Do you remember to forward the invoices?
That's fine. Sorry.
They changed companies.
That's probably, Yet and Oil
Yet
did
Oil.
change.
They sold out. Yet Oil is no longer Yeaton Oil, Yet Oil.
Oh, really?
That's who
And I
it
think
is.
that's where that name, that's the name change, and I was just Googling and so they sent the letter, but I think Linda has it at the office.
Well, is there an invoice for Yetton?
Yeah.
I figure I saw that.
Yeah, there was.
So that's probably it.
Yeah, and how much is it for? Huh, that's, I didn't notice.
I remember
They
hearing
just-
something about that, but
Yeah.
it didn't even, right here, here's the letter. And here's the invoice,
Yeah.
it is.
For $648.14.
You do that?
Do you have a pen
Stone
eraser?
Road Energy. Yeah, that's it. Oh, well.
Yeah, why did you do that?
Whose idea was that?
I think that's okay, I can give them a call tomorrow, and just tell them it was a name mix up and it'll be the
Yeah.
next
Oh,
meeting.
thanks.
They'd be fine with that. It's the same staff.
Either that, or you can just write out another check and sign it. I mean, have her write out another check and do an abbreviated manifest like you did before, but they're probably fine.
They're probably,
It's
I
not
mean,
that
another
much
2
money
weeks.
for them.
Yeah.
Right.
All
Is that
right.
right?
I would guess this, we're not the only town to do this.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll hear the treasurer's report.
Oh,
Since
okay.
you're here.
Never mind. Yeah, I know, sorry about last week, but I had the wrong.
Yeah, we all have the wrong dates, so it's everywhere.
Hang on. Grab this. Right, so the bi-weekly report for today, our balance total as of 2 weeks ago, June 4th, was $30,688.90. We had receipts in the last 2 weeks, June 5th through the 18th, of $68,514.13. Debits of $42,075.80. It leaves our total balance of all 7 accounts at $57,127.23.
That's before this manifest.
That's with this manifest.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Oh,
Great.
okay.
So good, thanks, Sharon.
Come on.
So, tax rate.
So maybe we'll have for you, huh?
Yeah.
That's good. We seem to be on track, right? You looked at the financials and we seem to be budget-wise, we seem to be doing all right.
Yeah, we do.
So I wish we could do better.
Well,
Maybe we can, you know. Like to have some money left over in the budget at the end of the year. So Dean's not here, Dean's not coming, huh?
Yeah, another commitment.
Okay, I was gonna talk to Dean about, because you got the email and I got a knock on the door about the culvert.
oh, Ron's to guess.
Yeah.
Well, he came to my house just,
Oh, you just
Yeah.
came down, yeah, okay. I'm surprised he didn't go to your house.
Yeah.
He doesn't know where you live yet.
he's fine.
So,
Which culvert is this?
his driveway culvert, so over the winter, his driveway culvert plugged.
Okay.
And so the water didn't drain through it, so the water went out onto the road and it froze and we got a nice sheet of ice there. And Dean had to go up there a couple of times with our steam Jenny, melt it and open it up, so Dean said that, it's not down far enough. Culvert's gotta go deeper, it's freezing.
Yeah.
So he's gotta go deeper with the culvert. So Ron said that, when I talked to him, that, he said Dean told him he was gonna help him do it, but then today Dean told him that it was his responsibility to do it. So he wanted to know, if it was his responsibility, and I told him, well, yeah, that's your responsibility to maintain, the culvert. He said, okay, I just was checking, he said, because about 10 years ago, his culvert failed, and the town came up and replaced his culvert and did all the work and put it in for him.
So he's
So-
saying in effect, the town didn't put it in deep enough 10 years ago.
No,
Well,
he's
no,
just saying
that's
that,
not-
that the precedent was, he told me
Yeah, it used to
that
be.
the landowner puts in the initial culvert,
Right?
and then it was his understanding that any time a culvert failed, the town took care of
The
it.
town took care of it.
Okay.
But I did find the RSA, and I was gonna call them, and I'll stop by tomorrow with the RSA, so he knows,
Oh, you
nobody's
wanna do
pulling,
that?
yeah, nobody's pulling a fast one, or,
Okay. So he also said to me that, the culvert is that way because it's ledge.
and he
Yeah,
mentioned that.
And
to
you
me,
can't
too.
go down any deeper than that,
Yeah.
But that really isn't our problem,
Right.
if there is ledge there. And I'll tell you, Mary Ellen's driveway there, we asked for a long time why it had to go there, why can't we just move it up farther? And the old road agent said, used to say, it's all ledge there.
Mm.
That's the only place you can put it because it's all ledge up there. So if you go up there now, you can see that there's no ledge there at all. Dean's got a nice big ditch running across there, no ledge at all.
Mm.
He told us for years that can't put the driveway there, it's all ledge. So just because somebody says there's ledge there, like Ron is, doesn't really mean that there's ledge there.
Mm.
I mean, and even if there is ledge there, it's not really our fault.
Well, no.
Have to do a little blasting, I guess. So, okay, well, so you'll stop by
Yeah, I'll stop by.
and you'll
Yeah.
talk to him, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. And, we have a ditch fill policy. We have a ditch fill policy. I was looking for it online and it's not listed under our policies
Yeah.
there. So I'm gonna have to find it or we should write
Put it up
another
there.
one. Basically what it is, if the town clears ditches and has ditch fill and the town doesn't need the ditch fill for anything, and somebody else wants it, and this somebody who wants it lives closer than where we would have to truck it, then we'll give it to them,
Okay.
but
But they have to sign a release also,
We
that
have
the
a-
truck can go on your property,
Right.
yeah.
your property.
Plus,
so-
Right.
we're not responsible, because we don't know what's in that ditch fill. It could be bottles and cans.
Yeah,
and,
right,
you know,
right,
who
right,
knows
right,
what's in there.
Okay.
So we get indemnified for that. They sign a form on that. So, well, that's our policy, that we give. If we don't want it, we give it away, but as long as it's to the benefit of the town, and we don't have to truck it,
Right.
as far as we would have to take it to the pit. Well, so Dean had some ditch fill and he took the ditch fill, nobody wanted it. Took it to his house and right away somebody was up at my house, telling him, Dean, what's Dean doing? The old road agent got fired for this, taking ditch fill. Well, that's not correct. A lot of people in town think the old road agent got fired because he gave away ditch fill. And that's probably what he told people. I don't know, but that's not the reason why he was let go. So, but I told Dean that what he did was, nobody else wanted it, and he was closer than the yard down there. So, but I explained to him, you're not even supposed to give an appearance of something that might be unethical, so you should call up one of the selectmen and say, hey, I'm gonna take some of this ditch fill, so that if somebody calls you up and said, well, I've seen Dean doing this, Dean was here, if we know, I didn't know Dean was taking ditch filling, so, you know, I couldn't answer, I don't know what he's doing.
He had, and just so you know, Dean had signed, you know, they have signed the form, so,
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah,
he
has
was
the
within the
forms
letter of
that-
the law,
Yeah,
but, yeah, the appearance thing is.
yeah, so the appearance, so he understood now. But we do have a ditch fill policy, and we should find it and put it online so people are aware of it. Okay, what else is there?
I'm good.
You saw all the work that they were doing this week on the house up there? It's not on the
Mhm.
property.
Mhm.
Yeah, I went up there was a lot of stuff in there, they filled up the dumpster.
Yeah, I'll just say, I really think they should get some kind of bonus or something. It was horrible. I mean, Dean opened one of the cupboards, there was dead rats in there.
Mm.
He said, don't open the refrigerator, all the food is still in the refrigerator. Mold.
Well, anyhow, it's nice that we made progress with that property.
Is the,
It should look nice now.
so the town owns the,
Town owns the property.
do we still have to decide what we're gonna do with it?
Well, you know, we're in the second year now that we own it,
Right.
and usually what we do is we wait 3 years,
Yeah.
and then we put it on the market and sell it. And if we wait 3 years, then we don't have to give any of the money to the old owner
I see.
after 3 years.
Okay.
So we wait the 3 years so we can reap all the benefits of the sale, and we put the property back on the tax rolls again.
Yeah.
You know, so that's what's nice, we get some income from that property.
Are we gonna board up the doorway? I noticed when we were driving by. I don't know, but I guess there's just too many ways to get in the place. But the door is very inviting.
Yeah.
It kind of says, come on in, and you go by. so.
We could if you want, I mean, it'll be an easy thing to do, board it up.
Well, I mean, otherwise, snow and rain blowing in, right? It's not,
Oh, is that bad, it's open?
yeah, I'm trying to think, I don't think it's under the porch, is it? You know, I was driving by, but it seems like the place should be sealed up against weather, somehow, pieces of plywood or something.
Yeah.
How many acres is it?
Huh?
How many acres is it?
5,
Five?
it's a 5-acre lot, it's a nice lot.
Yeah, it is.
Very nice.
And the
Dean was telling me there's a relatively new septic there and an artesian well.
Jeez.
So nice spot, the house isn't in too good shape.
Right.
There's some structural things, used to be jacked up and probably some rot there.
It's probably a tear down.
Or it could be that, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you never know why people might be out after an old house. So yeah, so that's the plan.
Okay.
You know, at this point, we'll wait till next year, you know, so. Okay, so you're gonna contact Ron?
I will, yep.
Okay, good. Anything else on highway? No? Okay. Assign the town hall facility use form, the residences form, some tables and chairs, did they say how many? I've taken all of them. Use of tables and chairs, 5 tables and 40 chairs. Saturday, August 15th. I would assume that Linda checked and made sure that there wasn't something going on that date, so. And DRA's requests for 2016 PA 28 forms. Those are the inventory forms. And you want to use the inventory forms, right? I mean, we don't have to send out inventory forms if you don't want to, but it
Well,
seems
it
like a good idea, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. You're okay with the rest?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I have a couple of intent records. That's it, huh?
That's it.
Okay, that's it for everything that is on our agenda for tonight. The only thing that I have that I wanted to add tonight is I want to cancel the next selectmen's meeting, the July 2nd, that's the 4th of July weekend, so I want to cancel that meeting. And so I have them to put a notice out that it's canceled, we'll put it on the web, on the site, and just don't forget it. We have to sign the manifest, so we
Okay.
can pay, so. And if something comes up, and if either of you want to have a meeting during that week sometime, let me know, I can call a meeting at any time. So that's all that I have for tonight. Oh, I guess we should talk about the special town meeting, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that was another reason, because we're having, that meeting on the 27th, so. Everything's all set,
Yeah.
as far as, we're following the timeline, everything, the warrant's posted out there, the MS 636 is posted out there. Maria and I got a hold of Randy O'Toole, and he's gonna come up and take a look at Cheever Chapel.
Oh, great,
The
okay.
structural integrity of the
Okay.
building, he's gonna give us a report on that.
Okay.
So we'll have that.
You'll let us know the final, is it still gonna be next Wednesday at 4:30?
I'm hoping, yeah.
I'd like to see the inside of it too, just,
Oh, okay, all right, so
and I've
I'll
got,
email
and I've
him
got the
on
key.
Monday, and whenever we do it, I'll post it as a selectmen's meeting, so you can come to it if you want.
Yeah, I'd like
See-
to.
See the inside, not much to see, it's one small room.
But just to
Oh,
see
you
what he
want to see
says, yeah, I mean, to see what he's pointing out.
Yeah, so, okay, I'll email him on Monday, and when he gives me a time and a date, I'll email you and let you know, and we can all take a look at it.
Thanks for making that arrangement, because I think that's important.
Uh-huh,
Questions may come up in the special meeting and.
yeah, what questions came up at the last one?
Yeah, right, exactly, and it's,
So they'll come up with.
yeah, and it'll be nice to have some answers.
Yeah. I was thinking about, one of the questions that Sean asked was, what's it gonna cost?
Yeah,
The town a year. And it's not gonna be much of a cost as far as I can see. What's the cost gonna be? We're going to rent it to the church, and they're gonna sign a lease, and under the lease, they're gonna, I'm gonna ask Laura for language, what she recommends for language in the lease, so I don't.
But they'll be responsible for the heat and
Yeah.
the yard maintenance or whatever, right? Don't they do the yard maintenance now?
Yes, they do it anyhow, so, yeah.
well, I think the year-to-year cost won't be much, but, I mean, there could be an initial cost. I mean, what's the condition of the roof? And, I mean, it's not a big roof, but if it has to be replaced, that's,
Yeah.
Well, that's supposedly fairly new,
okay.
Yeah.
but,
Supposedly
Supposedly fairly
being
new.
the operating wood.
Yeah.
So, there's gonna be the cost of the surveyor,
Yeah, and if the stained glass window has to have, if that's gotta be reinstalled or shored up or, somehow, or, I'm gonna, when we meet with the builder, I'm gonna ask him about the ADA concerns. So, the disability side. I think it's, I know it's, I mean, it's.
but as somebody pointed out, the step is only like a
It's
foot
two-
and a half off the ground.
It's two
so-
steps.
So it won't be crazy, that would
No.
be crazy.
The museum, that's not ADA accessible.
Oh, okay, so
And it's
probably
a
Ranger did that
Okay.
building, so
All right.
that's probably.
Okay, well,
But even so.
if there's an exemption, that would be, I mean, that'd be great, so.
That would be good. I wouldn't recommend going and looking
Yeah.
like that.
I just, don't wanna.
I just think is it structurally sound? And then either will the Heritage Commission, take the lead in getting money for that, like they did with or is it the Historical Society? I don't
It
want.
says Heritage
Commission.
Commission, under the
Okay.
Heritage.
So will they either take the lead on getting the money? The Moose Plate grants are worth about $10,000. Does LCHIP, would that apply to that?
It may, because it's, Historic District Commission / Heritage, it opens up, there's only, certain amount of communities that are both, and they lean towards giving money to organizations that are both, so, and only some grants you can only apply for if you're both. So that's something to research for sure. And some of the meetings we went to, that was made not, known to us that it was an advantage.
Did you ever happen to speak to Betty? Didn't people think she might have had a number on that window?
Yes, she does,
Yeah.
and I haven't yet. I'm kind of waiting till after the vote, after the town votes to take it, then we can start really
Well, I wonder,
answering some of these questions.
well, won't people want the answer to that question ahead of time? They might want to know, is that window going to cost $5,000 or $50,000 to repair?
Yeah.
Uh,
Well,
Maybe we should ask
we'll
her,
ask
just if she's,
we'll ask that.
okay.
So, but after the vote and everything, then I was gonna go to Steve, because you're on the Heritage Commission, so the Heritage Commission at that point should start doing some research to, find out about the building, when it was built, and I don't know any of the history of it. And I'm sure there's no records within the building itself, because it's so small, they don't have space to keep even records there.
Well, Malcolm left in our house a copy of the bicentennial booklet, and that has a section on the Cheever Chapel.
Oh, yeah?
So
okay.
I haven't read it in a while. Are you familiar with
yeah.
it? But I have it at home.
Yeah, I'm not remembering
Okay.
exactly.
But
what it
so,
said, but yeah.
I'll make sure I have it there the day of the meeting.
Okay, cool.
Uh,
Yeah.
But that has some information anyway.
Yeah.
Wasn't it the post office at one time? Or the farmhouse was the post office?
Farmhouse.
Farmhouse,
Right. So, okay, meeting on Saturday, we're pretty much set, huh? Okay. All right, I guess that's it, we'll have our meeting and be done with it, and
Can I make a discussion? Have a discussion?
Sure, I mean, I don't know, ask him, he's in charge.
go ahead, Dean, what is it, something with the road, or?
No, something with Ron's COVID.
Oh, we talked about that,
Okay.
okay.
Just so you know, I told him right straight up that it was his responsibility to take care of it.
Okay,
So he said no, he believes it was the town. So I said, I'll tell you what, the next time I'm ditching in that area, and I got some decent ditch fill, I'll bring you over some, you can cover with your culvert by yourself. I'll drop it off where you want it, and you do it with your tractor. He refused that today.
Well, he was at my house, but he said that's because he can't take it, or he felt he couldn't, because of.
As long as you don't fill a swamp like he was doing, but it's just going right in his driveway, I mean, you know.
But isn't the issue
Why are
that-
you gonna give him Phil?
Because he took it from right over here,
Yeah, no, why are you gonna give him Phil to fix
his culvert, so we don't have a icing problem in the winter or in fall, spring rather, and
Oh, I was under the impression that the culvert's gotta go deeper, that's not
it,
true.
it's gotta go deeper, but he's stating that it's full of ledge there, which is a possibility, but,
But you don't know,
I don't know.
right?
And I never messed with any of that, that was before my time, and he's saying in the past. Oh, I said, that was a past.
You weren't here when I was telling them with Mary Ellen's driveway there, Tiny told us for years, the driveway had to go there, because if it went any farther, it was all ledge there,
Right,
and he couldn't, but you went up and
right, exactly.
there was no
I didn't
ledge.
find no ledge.
There was,
And here's the other fact is about with Ron's driveway is, if you go between your neighbor and Ron's house, where I put up that nice ditch in to alleviate all that water that was coming in, there was not one rock in it. Not one rock.
If
And it
there,
goes right up to his culvert.
if there did happen to be ledge under his culvert, how does extra ditch fill?
Well, see, what I was gonna do is just let him cover over it. In other words, if you can't go down, you can go up.
Yeah.
That's the theory.
But the water still can't get through the,
His culvert, it would insulate it better with a better
oh,
covering over
insulated,
it.
okay, it
Yeah.
insulated.
Right,
okay.
right, exactly.
Uh-huh,
So
okay.
I offered him, because, you know, it was right down past the Plant's residence, that little where the water runs off. So we took one load, a small load out of there with one truck, and I put a heavy load on the other truck. So I said to Ron, I said to the driver of the small truck, I said, why don't you just take it up to Ron, tell him this will be nice stuff, he can put that right over his culvert to insulate it for the winter.
Okay.
He could spread it out with his old tractor, be done. I said, because I'm not responsible for that culvert, tell him, you know, I spoke to you guys and same thing. But he came down and saw me and said, no, he says, he ain't putting any ditch fill, the town's liable for it, blah, blah, blah. I said, that's not what I'm thinking, I've already talked to them. Oh, no, you can cover them again, so I'm bringing it up.
okay.
Well, I'm gonna go, I found the RSA.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take it to him tomorrow.
Okay.
Are
It
you,
is-
are you, are you in the area anymore if I can change his mind about the ditch fill? Are you working on
I
it?
saved the ditch fill, it's still on the truck, in case he wants it, I told him that. It's on the truck until Monday. If he wants it, I can bring it up to him tomorrow.
Okay.
You know, I mean, as far as that goes, I mean, it's pretty decent, you know, it was the stuff that ran right down the road here and took some of the gravel with it. So I figured if he wanted it, that would be perfect, you know, kind of ease things easier. But that was it, you know, and I mean, I think he's thinking we should dig it up and put a new culvert in. To me, no.
Well, he told me that his culvert failed about 10 years ago, and that the town went up there and fixed it for him and put a new culvert
I
in,
think
so
he
that's
said-
why
George,
he's wondering why things changed.
because that was just 10 years ago.
Right.
Things change. Okay, that was it. That was all I had.
Okay, good.
Everything else has been going good. That other project we did came out real good.
Oh my gosh, it looks amazing.
Amazing, don't it?
Yeah, wow,
Yeah.
thank you so much.
It looks perfect,
Mhm.
so.
Yeah.
Good.
And there's two guys already inquired about, two contractors.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Put up a bid, so.
Is it ever, for a price, wise to think about not waiting the 3 years? What is the
Yeah,
percent?
if you need the money, sure. You get
Yeah.
your back taxes.
Well, I mean, I wonder if a contractor, is it worth letting them make an offer? Versus when it goes to auction, that's it,
You know,
right?
it has to
Has to go to
sealed bid
Bid.
or auction.
Auction.
You can't just sell it to somebody.
If you, okay, if we sell it before the 3 years, what's the percentage of the price that goes to the previous owner?
Everything except what the town
Is owed,
is owed in back taxes.
okay.
And that's like 6,000.
I think you'd be better waiting for 3 years.
Yeah, it sounds like it could be
Yeah.
a substantial difference.
Yeah.
The selectmen do have the discretion to charge a penalty,
Yeah,
which is something like 10 or 15% of the value of the property. Hasn't been our policy to do that.
okay.
That seems humane.
So,
I
so
just-
that's what we would get. We would get, well, you know, it's still a substantial amount of money, the back taxes and, you know.
But
So,
waiting, it could be substantially more.
I think so.
Yeah, okay.
Well, the deal with the auction, was it last year or the year before?
A couple of years ago, yeah.
Those guys came and they said, what was the difference? That you either, it was a blind auction and you took what you got?
Yeah.
Oh, no reserve, like a no reserve auction.
Yeah, or there was another way you could do,
The minimum,
with a minimum
price, right?
bid, but they were advising that 90% of the towns, they did this for,
Yeah.
the town just let it go to auction, didn't set a minimum bid.
Didn't
Am
set
I
a
remembering
minimum
that right?
bid, yeah, they said do it that way. That was their advice, to do it that way. So that's the way we did it, and we made out all right.
Mhm.
I don't know the reasons why, but it's probably because there was a bunch of people who probably watch for these things. So
Yeah.
they go to the auction hoping that they can get something, you know, really cheap.
Yeah,
You know, so you end up with a lot more people coming.
We had, I think the last time that I was involved in it, there was a lot of turnout at the auction. I thought there was.
I think
And that's what you-
I think the percentage they took was less if you just let it go to auction. I think the
Oh, really?
was that the kicker?
Oh,
That if
yeah.
you set a
The
minimum
percentage
bid,
to
there,
the auction company?
yeah, it was
Yeah,
higher.
okay,
I believe
yeah,
that
okay,
was
I
the
see.
crux there.
I see.
Yeah. But the more people you have, the better, too.
The better
There's a
odds
lot
you
of,
got.
yeah,
The
they
better odds you got.
outbid each other for it, yeah, kind of
We're
drives
not
the
allowed to
price up.
stand in the back and kind of.
Yeah, you could. They show you in a pants again, and they were
I told somebody you called me a scarecrow. Nice, Dean. See what I
And
did?
she was delivering bliss on top of that, but I had to.
It's one of the properties we auctioned off. Somebody like that, you know.
Somebody like that, you
Yeah,
know.
somebody like that, and then the
Just
next
put
day
some
they
mud over
say,
my face. They'll leave this
They
picture.
say, I don't want it, I don't want that, I don't know why I bid on it, I don't want it.
I can play crazy, right, Beth?
Hey, talk about places, I forgot his name, the guy up on 118 there that's got that little like log gambrel thing that's put all the junk in the yard, he added more junk today, just so you know.
Right past John Morrissey's, you mean?
Yeah,
Oh.
he added more junk, I saw him out there today.
Now, haven't we, somebody asked me about that.
Yeah.
Haven't we talked about like trying to get a health officer involved, or is there?
Nobody lives in it, but,
Well, what
Just
was
his
the
personal
pretext for-
junkyard.
Yeah.
What was
It
the
is.
pretext for Cody's, for burning Cody's? That was a hazard. Why isn't this a hazard? Or is there any pretext to get somebody to
that'd be
clean
something to find
something?
out.
Is there any personal appeal to this guy? Like, we'd really appreciate it if we didn't have to look
You
at
didn't
each
leave
other.
it like that?
We tried the fence, didn't we?
Even went out as far as, it's probably, you know, the stuff he left today is probably 6 feet off the road. Right in front of the house, dropped it right in front of the house. 2 stacks of pallets and a bunch of fence that we dropped off today.
Maybe he's gonna hide it.
Maybe,
One can always hope, right?
maybe.
You can't
making fencing out of pallets.
Yeah, you can make cool fences,
Yeah.
pallets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. This guy's the expert right there.
Not that expert. Well, that's not good.
No.
That's
Is-
too bad.
There's nothing to be done, have we ever sent him a letter and said?
Yeah.
I know Brian,
I told you the
Brian,
history, right? Didn't I?
Yeah, sort
We
of,
went to
yeah.
him and he told him to put fences up, and he did. He came up with some stockade fence and just leaned it against the car. You know, he didn't actually put it up, just leaned it there. But we don't have any local ordinance, you know, to do anything about it. It would have to be a health issue, and it probably is a health issue up there. He's got stacks of wood there, you know,
He's got more
for snakes and varmints and
he's got the oil paint.
Snakes
to
on,
congregate.
You know, the snakes we have around here are this long, so.
I beg to differ.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you there.
well,
Especially with
what's,
that house.
Well,
what's
There
the
you go.
difference between that place and Cody's? What's the line?
I guess it was a volunteer deal with Cody's.
That's true,
It was, you know,
that's true.
Cody's, it was a liability issue, because nobody was there, it was in bad shape, and we got complaints from the neighbors that kids were going in there and, you know, hanging out in there and doing whatever they do.
Well, why,
So-
okay, so there's been no neighbor complaints of kids hanging out, but if we could drum up some neighbor
No.
complaints of
The
kids.
state- the state
Complaints
actually-
up there.
the state sent him a letter, Brian sent him a letter about being, he's gotta get his stuff away from the road because it's interfering with the winter removal and nothing ever changed. He did pack up the trailer one time, he was telling me that, the state had complained and he was instructed to take some of that out of there, so he did pack the trailer up. But then I guess he decided not to take the trailer out of there and just back it in beside the other thing that was there. But he never ended up taking nothing out, now it's back. That was
Want to talk some more about it?
Nope.
No? Okay, well, think about it, you know, if you want to do something about it, we'll take a look at our options. I mean, it would be nice to do something about it, that's, you know, that's most of my reason, or part of my reason for cleaning up this property up here was that how are you gonna get the people in town to take some pride in their property and the appearance of the town if you have town-owned property that looks like that? You know, we should be setting an example for the residents. And this property right here, I mean, it's right in your face on 118 as you're going around the corner there. And so that was part of the reason, you know, we gotta set an example.
Well, when was the last time we sent him a letter? Was it 10 years ago or 5 years ago? I mean,
5 years ago.
oh, well then maybe it's time to, please, sir. Those of us that live here would just really appreciate it. I mean, is there, can we we can't force him to do anything, so can we make like all we can do is ask, it sounds like, but, right? You have no,
Well,
maybe, I don't know. Or if you think it's useless, then.
no, I don't think it's useless. I think it's a good idea that we send them a letter. And, you know, we can say in the letter that several years back you agreed to put up fencing so that, you know, to hide all the debris. And over the past couple of years, the fencing has disappeared and it's back to where it was. And, you know, could you do something about it? Ask him if he could do something about it and see what his response is, right? We could ask. You
Well, it
wanna-
seems like if it's been that long ago, yeah, then we should.
You wanna do
we should
that?
make
You
some
wanna send
attempt.
His neighbor's working on this place. The postal guy, he was over there cleaning up and things and moving things around.
For about 3 days.
Yeah, that was it, he's gone.
No,
And he had his,
it's
what was it, full dress holly that he had out there or something?
Yeah,
But he did clean up a little bit.
a little bit.
Yeah. So, okay, we'll do that.
I think that's a first step, and
Yeah.
see how he responds, and if
Yeah.
there's no response or an inadequate response, then we can talk about.
And we can talk about it.
Because the town, the town has the authority, if it suspects that there's a health issue, the town has the authority to send in a health inspector to take a look, right?
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
so that's sort of the next
yes.
level of.
That could be, yeah, the little pub.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, any place that hasn't been lived in for X number of years, isn't that de facto a health issue? Yeah, that's not being kept up, right? I mean, when you think about it.
I'm not sure.
Empty buildings,
Yeah.
deteriorate
Yeah.
without
Oh, yeah.
upkeep.
Yeah.
And if they're packed with stuff, as I'm being told this is,
So I know you don't watch TV, but you ever saw that hoarding show?
It's not up to us to determine whether he lives there, if he's a resident, where he votes, his license, where he's a resident. I'm just assuming he lives there. I don't know.
Well, let's try the letter and see what happens.
Okay.
It is considered residential property if you look at it that way. It is considered residential property if you look at it that way.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
So, okay. Thanks, Ian.
yep.
So, anything else? Maria, you have anything that you want to talk about?
no, I'm good.
What about you, Steve?
No,
Everything's going good with your permitting? And
yeah, I signed a couple of building permits on Monday and
Good.
we checked, I looked at the properties last weekend and it all turned out well.
Good.
So,
No problems yet.
not yet.
Okay, well, I guess we're done then, and we'll open the meeting up to the public for any comments or announcements or opinions about something. Anybody have anything? Yes, all right?
I received from the state of New Hampshire a check. It was for $350. I mean, normally these checks come for the UCC filings. Well, it said checklist on it. So I didn't know how to enter it into my system because I wasn't sure what it was. So I called, and they sell checklists, the state does. So it's reimbursement to the town for the
Or check.
checklists that they sold for our town. So I don't know where, I assume I'll just turn that over to Linda because there's no place in my system to enter it well, I suppose I could create something. I could put that in. I didn't know, I wanted to make you aware of it and see what you wanted me to do, whether to enter it as checklist monies from the state into my system or hand it to Linda. And I also wanted to request if I could use 125 of it to purchase in Wentworth. They just got a new printer, and one of our printers, the drum is gone, and you're better off buying a new one for the cost of replacing the drum. And the checklist people use the printer there, and this is a little step up. But it was available there. It's been sitting for 3 months. It's got a new ink cartridge in it and an extra one that comes with it for $125.
I don't mind.
No, this sounds like a $350 windfall, so let's take care of it, let's solve the printer problem.
That would be great, because it was like, I don't know, it was
You
50
can
some
get
odd
it,
dollars.
we'll take the money out of the administration. I don't know about this check, whether it's considered unanticipated funds or something, but we can't just take it and spend it on.
Well, I just was making aware that,
Right, I know,
If-
okay.
not necessarily that I was gonna actually get one.
Okay.
But my big question is, I don't know whether to enter it into the town clerk tax collector stuff, or, well, it would be under town clerk, or if it should go to Linda, because it was sent to the town clerk. So I just wasn't sure whether I should enter it, or if it should go to the town general funds, I don't know.
Well, yeah, well, we have to account for it, so.
Yeah, well, it'll be accounted for in my books or in your books, I just don't know what you guys didn't know about this, so I figured you needed to know and make a decision,
Okay,
and I'll do whatever you tell me you want me to do.
okay. Well, I would say give it to Linda,
Okay,
you know, and just, because of.
then she's gonna
I
want where to
never
put
heard-
I was
it.
just gonna say, she's gonna wanna know, I'm trying to go through the list here, she's gonna
Be
wanna know.
under
where to put it.
elections or checklists, supervisor checklist maybe, I don't know.
No,
Well-
It's a revenue,
But
it's
does,
not an expenditure.
no, but doesn't that have categories where it has to go, or it just,
Well, it's not, they're pretty broad, you know, it's not, no, it's no big deal.
Can it just go into the general fund then?
Well, more or less it does, yeah. The big thing is that just because we get it doesn't mean that we can spend.
Well, right,
Yeah, that's the fact.
Yeah.
But we can't actually say, oh, we picked up $300 here, so we're gonna go buy something with it.
Right.
We don't have the authority to do that. So, I never heard of that before. Have you?
They've been doing it for a couple of years, but this is the first time we've actually gotten a check.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know whether in the past they just never happened to use our town, I don't know.
Yeah.
So, Darlene, where do they usually sell the checklist? So in other words, they're selling the names and addresses?
Yeah,
or
all these,
Can
Republican,
we not
Democratic.
let them do that?
That's public record.
It's public,
It's a
public
public
record.
record, the voter list.
It's like when I
Why
post
did
the
they ask for it?
checklist,
yeah, but it does seem a little weird that.
That they pay us for it, because then it
That-
makes
that
it seem like we're doing it for, like we're promoting that.
no, if somebody calls me up and wants a checklist, they have to purchase it. Although when I put them out here, they steal them, so.
Yeah,
Oh, okay, all right, I didn't know that.
yeah. We actually get a lot of requests for
Hmm.
checklists and, what other kind of lists, assessing lists, and, you know, anything that has names and, you know, property owners and stuff like that. So, what we
Yeah.
do usually is we tell people, yeah, they can have it, come to the office. And it's the charge for that, you know.
Right,
You don't wanna get in the habit of
mailing.
emailing
Yeah.
these lists out, you know, that's what they want.
Yeah.
No, I
We
don't do
even
that.
get out of state,
Mhm.
real estate people,
Mhm.
you know, wanting this, and these are public records, and we wanna have them. Well, you can have them, come on,
Come get 'em,
you
yeah.
know, come get them. So. Okay, what else? Anybody else? Yeah, Cook?
Couple things, seeing that you canceled the Board of Selectmen meeting on July 2nd,
Yeah,
you're gonna see an invoice from June Garno Mapping Solutions in regards to the hazard mitigation plan, which has now gone to FEMA. So the second half of the grant monies that we were entitled to for that plan to be prepared, the $2,400. So you'll see an invoice for $2,400. So once that comes back, we're hoping by August, they should be coming back with the approval of the plan. Then we can submit the paperwork for that reimbursement, such as what we did with the first half. So I didn't want you to panic when you saw a $2,400
This time we'll try
bill.
and keep better track of it, so we weren't scrambling over it.
Exactly, so I have
Last year.
copies of everything, so when that comes back through, we have to send it
I
back to
got
Homeland
10,000
Security.
things we were scrambling.
And the emergency operation plan meeting is on July 1st here at the town hall at 6 o'clock. It's a Wednesday night. We had it scheduled for the other night, but there was a scheduling issue, so we postponed it till the July 1st. And if anybody can come, we need more money for people for a match, so we're trying to get that resolved. We're a little short right now, haven't had a great attendance on that one. And the school board will be here Saturday, and we're prepared to leave by 1, so Darlene will have the hall for her function, 9 to 1.
Anybody else?
I have a question. When I was down, the selectman's office just getting, paperwork, I noticed that the emergency management equipment was not hooked up. It was a
The
cable.
radio just recently got fixed. The antenna got struck by lightning and it blew the power supply, so we just had to have that fixed. So until Ossipee Mountain can come out and properly check the ground on that antenna, I have been advised not to hook it up now unless I'm there to use it at that time.
If we have to use it.
If I have to use it,
Okay.
right. Yeah, until that ground can get reassessed and make
Okay.
sure if there's anything that needs to be fixed, they will
All right.
do it, so.
Okay. That's it, huh?
Big group.
Gravel razzers.
Okay, we're gonna go into a non-public session this time. So we'll call recess here and, to get the room clear.